welcome everybody to another Legacy Doomsday video here. My name's Scott, and today we are going to be trying out Wonderpreux's recent challenge top 8 list, which looked pretty spicy um, with this Experimental Frenzy in the sideboard. Um, I am not 100% confident that I know how to utilize this card to its fullest potential, but Wonderpro wrote up a little comment in the Doomsday Discord explaining a Doomsday pile that utilizes Experimental Frenzy along with Collective Brutality and a second copy of Doomsday, where if you have Experimental Frenzy on the battlefield, you can generate some mana using cards like Dark Ritual and Lion's Eye Diamond or Lotus Petal. And as long as you have 5 plus, I think 6 uh, mana, you can basically burn through your pile, Collective Brutality to drain your opponent for 2 life, gaining you back 2 life, and then you cast Doomsday again, which tucks your initial Doomsday back into the deck, allowing you to jam through all of your rituals again into another Cabal or Collective Brutality, and so on and so forth, slowly draining your opponent out by casting a whole bunch of Doomsdays and Collective Brutalities. So that's kind of neat. It is a way to beat um, Endurance and also consign to memory if you can figure out how to not use a Lion's Eye Diamond as a part of the pile, though I'm not 100% sure on how that looks. It's possible that we are just burning 3 sideboard slots here to try something very fancy, but it certainly has me intrigued. And I actually got to pick up a volcanic island, 2 volcanic islands actually, in paper when I finished 9-2 at Eternal Weekend. I traded my promotional crop rotation for 2 Volks, and so this makes me very happy because now I have an excuse to try out one of my volcanic islands in Doomsday in paper. I thought that we would try it out here on Magic Online first. Wonderpro also had 2 copies of Commandeer in the sideboard. I'm not 100% sure what Commandeer is for. I played a practice league with the deck yesterday, boarded it in a few times, and I felt like the blue count in the deck is already so low. We're only running 19 blue cards in the main deck. I mean, that sometimes pitching 2 blue cards to your Commandeer isn't always feasible. So I cut the 2 Commandeers. I added a 4th Force of Negation and a single copy of Boseiju Who Endures. Boseiju Who Endures is a really, really good card. I like having access to it in Doomsday, especially when you're playing green. It's good at beating cards like Chalice of the Void and other hate pieces. So we're going to give that a shot today. Yesterday, when I did a quick kind of practice league with the deck, I got destroyed. I got paired against a bunch of Ancient Tomb decks, I think 4 Ancient Tomb decks and Delver. And I just felt like I was getting chaliced into the dirt in like almost every single game. Like I think 3 of my 4 matches, every game my opponent led on a turn 1 Chalice of the Void. So I thought maybe going up to 4 Force of Negations and adding an additional Boseiju in the sideboard might help in some of those spots. Another neat card here that Wonder Pro is experimenting with is Xantid Swarm. I actually really, really like this as an idea. It seems very, very good at beating Consign. It's kind of like a pseudo Teferi in your Bug Doomsday deck. If you play this post board, ideally your opponent has boarded out most of their removal spells. You can connect once with your Xantid Swarm, and then you have a silence effect on board, and you can execute a Dark Ritual Doomsday line of some kind without having to worry about any of your opponent's possible interaction, which is really, really neat. In the main deck, this looks pretty stock in terms of Turbo Doomsday. Since we're on Bug, we get access to 4 copies of Veil of Summer, and those are in place of some number of Thought Seizes, and notably there are no Dazes. in this deck at all. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but possibly we just can't afford to return lands to our hand because we want to develop our mana in such a way that we can cast this Dark Ritual into Doomsday while still having excess mana available to us to cantrip into the pile or whatever it may be. Um, I also cut the Underground Mortuary for a copy of Bayou. It's possible we actually want to surveil lands, but I thought there might also be spots where our tropical island has been wastelanded or we need untapped green for a veil that also produces black into like a three swamped Doomsday on the following turn. So I made that swap. Um, my experience with surveil lands in Doomsday has been that they are very, very good when you don't draw the Undercity Sewers or the tapped land, but oftentimes you will get like an easy turn one win hand, but you can't execute it because you have a tapped land instead of an underground sea. And so I swapped that mortuary out for a bayou. Again, I'm not really you know qualified to make some of these changes. Wonderpreux is a master, and I am a mere lackey. So I apologize if I have butchered something integral to the deck strategy in the few changes that I've made. But nonetheless, we're here to try out Experimental Frenzy in Doomsday, and we'll probably time ourselves out trying to execute this combo on Magic Online. But it should be a fun time. So let's jump over to a league here, um, and we'll enter that and we'll see what's going on. All right, welcome to round one, match game one. Take a look at our opening hand here. We've got a personal tutor, which could get Edge of Autumn. Got the Thassa's Oracle in hand, which could make for an easy cycle down to Cavern of Souls if we're playing against a blue deck using this Street Wraith. We've got a Brainstorm and a Cabal Ritual. We're really just looking for like a land and maybe a Force of Will here or something like that. I think I'm going to keep this hand on the play. Just run out this Misty, surveil in our opponent's end step, and see what happens. Really like to hit a second land here, and the fact that we don't have any protection is a bit sketchy, but we at least get this Misty down. We can also get like an Underground Sea, cast Brainstorm to protect our hand from a Thoughtseize. I kind of like what's going on here, but we gotta hope our opponent's not doing anything too powerful out of the gates. Looks like a volcanic island on a portent. Jesus. Okay, haven't seen this one in a while. Delayed Ponder, classic card. Perhaps they're playing something like Standstill or Jeskai Control. Okay, Mishra's Bauble coming down. I really don't know what this is. Interesting. I haven't seen Portent in ages. We're going to pick up Undercity Sewers here and hope to find a land. We do find a land. Our opponent's going to crack the bauble, see what we decided to keep. They've got 6 cards in hand after they draw back up. What did they do off their portent? They shuffled their library off the portent. Oh, do we jam? That is a good question. Our opponent's tapped out. We could just put Doomsday on the stack here, and then we have a follow-up Doomsday with Personal Tutor down the line. We could also just cast this Brainstorm and see if we can find some means of protection. I kind of don't mind doing that. Our opponent isn't showing us any pressure. If they're playing Portent, they're likely to be on a slower deck. And we do indeed find a bunch of cool things here. So now we can actually just go for it. We can put back Polluted Delta and Thassa's Oracle, I think. And then we can jam a Doomsday here. With Force of Will backup, which I think I like. Let's see what our opponent wants to say about this polluted delta. I think the pile here, since we've already got a cycler in hand, we can probably just pass the turn and then cycle down to a Cavern Oracle to win. Opponent is tanking on this polluted delta, which is kind of strange. We shall see what shakes out here. Get Underground Sea. Cast Cabal Ritual. And put Doomsday on the stack. We've got a Force of Will to protect it. And if they've got double force, we're in a very bad spot. Does Doomsday resolve? Doomsday resolves. We'll take Thassa's Oracle. Cavern of Souls. We'll take... We got Street Wraith in hand. We're going to go to 8 life here, so we can cycle 2 Street Wraiths down to 4, which means we still don't die to a Lightning Bolt. I think this is the pile. Pretty straightforward against a blue deck. We got to hope this is enough. We want to be sure to put our Cavern on top of our Oracle in case they wasteland one of our lands so our edges aren't turned off. And yeah, let's see if we can just beat a Lightning Bolt at 1 life. Again, really not sure what my opponent's doing. This Portent is throwing me off, especially in conjunction with the Mishra's Bauble. They just pass with another Volk up. And let's see if we can do the thing. They got something on our upkeep? Nope. Cycle Street Wraith. I guess they could have Double Bolt here. Well, we're dead to Double Bolt now anyways, so. C'est la vie. We could have main deck consigned to memory. Don't name Wraith. Name Wizard importantly. And let's see if we just get got to like a consign. Main deck consign, anyone? Main deck stifle? Nope, we just get there. Great. Okay, so our opponent's playing some kind of blue-red deck that we are uncertain about. What do we want to fight against blue-red? I'm thinking Flusterstorm's probably pretty good. Thought Seizes are probably fine. Xantid Swarms I can see being good here. Not sure that we want Boseiju. I don't know that we're supposed to go for the Experimental Frenzy pile. Maybe we should just to try it, but I'm kind of inclined to not put that into our deck, and I'm hoping that we get to use it at some point. But I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if we're supposed to be bringing in Experimental Frenzy in a matchup like this. What don't we want? Well, might want access to double Oracle. I think I'm fine trimming like a personal tutor, maybe a Lotus Petal. Like I don't mind slowing down just a tad bit here, cutting a little bit of our fast mana in favor of some more interactive spells. Do we want all the copies of Force of Will here? We're boarding in Thoughtseizes and Flusterstorm, so maybe we can trim 1 Force and double Oracle could be helpful if we have to pitch something. We could cut a Ponder. I'm kind of like off Ponder these days, but maybe that's just gross. You know, I am gonna cut a Ponder here. I just kind of feel like 3 is enough. This could be terrible sideboarding. It's kind of what I'm feeling at this juncture, so it is what we're going to do. Against control, if that is indeed what they're playing, boarding out a number of the fast mana is usually fine. Again, we've got a turn one Doomsday. If we can find another land, we can actually protect the Doomsday with a Flusterstorm, which is something we're probably interested in here. Opponent goes Tropical Island into Delver of Secrets. Okay, so they're just playing Portent and Delver. That's fascinating. Yep. There's Veil of Summer. We've got 5 cards in hand. There's no way that this Doomsday resolves, right? I think we just pass. They'll probably flip this Delver, as they always do. No, nice, nice. The Delver does not flip. That bodes well for us. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand, cracks their Strand. I have to also be worried about Consigned to Memory. Here comes Dragon's Rage Channeler. Yikes. We're going to have to put the pedal to the metal here. Ooh, okay. This Ponder's probably going to set up a Delver flip. We really need to find some Lotus Petals here. Yeah, so I just mis-sideboarded. I did not think that they were playing Delver. Maybe the Mishra's Bauble was just a sign that they were, but that portent is very, very strange. But I guess our opponents are looking for some more ways to cantrip in the post-Frog meta. So here we have a choice between an end-of-turn Brainstorm or just a Surveil land. I think we have to cast the Brainstorm. Like, I just feel like we're very far behind here. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. We have access to Doomsday. Maybe we can just Surveil. I'm just going to Surveil, dig a card deeper. We're going to keep that land. That land is great. Now, I don't like fetching here. We're going to go for it. We've got Doomsday. What happens if we cast Veil of Summer and then cycle into Lotus Petal and cast Brainstorm? I kind of just want to do that. Here's Lotus Petal. And then we'll need Thassa's Oracle, Lion's Eye Diamond. Like, our opponent's tapped out here, so we don't have to worry about Consign, which is really, really nice. Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Thassa's Oracle. Consider, and I guess another Edge Bottom. We have 2 lands here. Let's see if we can do it. I think I'm fine going all in here. So, Oracle on the bottom, LED, Edge, Consider, Petal, cast Veil of Summer. Opponent's got a Daze. So now if they have a Force 2, we're screwed. But they didn't force the Doomsday. I am going to go for it. I guess we had another Oracle in hand, so maybe there's like no real reason to do this like so. But let's see. See if they've got a second daze. Um, hold control. Sacrifice this. Bin this for triple blue. Draw consider. Oracle to graveyard. Cast Thassa. Thassa's in. And we got there. Nice. That was a sweet win against Delver. Wow. Okay, so yeah, our opponent just tapped down to deploy threats. We got that second land, and we just utilized our cards to get the job done there. And the fact that they didn't force the Doomsday means that they probably don't have Force of Will. And so yeah, we just kind of had it all there. That's awesome. Let's go on to game two, or match two. We are 1-0. All right, welcome to round number 2 here, playing against Darth Noogies. Hell yeah. All right. What's Wonderpreux's list gonna cook up for us this time? I mean, this is a hand. This hand is sweet. We got turn 1 basic island, personal tutor, put Doomsday on top with Force of Will protection, and then next turn we can go Dark Ritual Doomsday and Brainstorm for the win if we need to. So let's keep this. It's a very nice keep. We get to play off the basics. I actually really like that this list is running 4 colors, but still has access to basic swamp, basic island. It's really, really nice. So here comes a Polluted Delta fetch. We're going to pick up an island, cast Personal Tutor, put Doomsday on top of our deck, and we'll see what our opponent has to say about that. There's the island. Here's the Personal Tutor. Everybody needs a Personal Tutor in their life. Got to get all that knowledge. There we go. Doomsday's sitting pretty on top. We've got the Dark Ritual in hand. We've got a Force to stop what our opponent's got. They also just revealed this Yorion, so interesting. Well, let's see what happens here. This resolves. We've got a Brainstorm. We've got a Force of Will. Our opponent could be playing blue. They could have Endurance. We've kind of got Endurance covered with the Force. Are we going to have to pass twice here, though? Because that can get a little bit problematic. We could go for an EOT Brainstorm. What does an EOT Brainstorm look like? Let's put Cavern, Thassa, and then Edge, Wraith. We go end of turn, Brainstorm, draw 3 cyclers, put 2 cyclers back, draw a cycler, and then cycle to Cavern Oracle. I kind of don't mind that, all the while holding up Force of Will. Let's see. See if this is enough. That. And like this. Maybe I'm supposed to just cast Brainstorm right there. They got a shadowy backstreet. Interesting. They on Yorion taxes. Well, we just got to make sure they don't have a Spirit of the Labyrinth, I guess. And I suppose Ghost Quarter would also be incredible here, but they do not present the Ghost Quarter. Prismatic Vista for planes. Stoneforge Mystic, we do not care about. We will let that resolve. Stoneforge is going to come in. You're going to grab a Cauldra. And in our opponent's end step, we will fire off this Brainstorm. 2 Cyclers back on top. Untap, upkeep. Draw a Cycler. Fetch some mana here. Boom. Cycle Edge. Cycle Edge. Cycle Wraith. Play Cavern. Name Wizard. Tap Cavern for a blue. Present a Thassa's Oracle with a Force of Will in our hand. That should do it, I would guess. All right, on to sideboarding. What do we want against Orzhov Taxes? I guess they could be playing Thoughtseize, so maybe these Veil of Summers aren't bad. Probably wouldn't mind access to a Boseiju. Collective Brutality does kill Spirit of the Labyrinth. Yesterday I lost to Orzhov because they had double Spirit and the Collective Brutality wasn't enough. Makes me wish that this Boseiju was something else. Do we want Flusterstorm? I can't think of anything we would want to fluster beyond a Mindbreak Trap. But maybe having access to a Flusterstorm to beat a Mindbreak Trap isn't the worst thinking. Do we need Metamorphose? Probably not. Experimental Frenzy again. I don't think we need that to help beat what our opponent's doing. What if we cut a couple of Veil of Summers in favor of a Collective Brutality and a Boseiju? I guess we also don't need this Cavern of Souls likely against our opponent, so maybe we bring in a second Thoughtseize. Can be fine at picking apart some things. God, like I don't even know if Veil's supposed to be in the deck though. Like, they probably are playing Thoughtseize and Orcish Bowmasters if they're on Orzhov, so having a couple Veils doesn't strike me as a bad idea. Let's do this. We've got 60 cards. Our opponent's got 80. Let's just keep drawing great hands. I mean, so far we've been whizzing through this league. But we shall see. Doomsday feels very, very good. Here we got the double Veil of Summer hand against Orzhov Taxes. You know, the thing is, they're going to Thoughtseize us on turn 1, and this Veil's not going to do anything, but we do have a Brainstorm, which can tuck some things back. I'm going to keep this hand. We've got 2 lands. These Veils are looking awfully pathetic here. Let's see if they do indeed Thoughtseize us. No Thoughtseize. Deafening Silence. We do have Boseiju in our deck, but this Deafening Silence is going to make things, God, a little challenging for us. This is tough. I'm not sure if we're supposed to force this. We're never casting this Cabal Ritual into a Doomsday if we don't. I guess we can play off the power of Surveil lands, hope to find another route to victory here. I was really counting on that Brainstorm, though. This is unfortunate. At least now we can protect against a Thoughtseize with this Veil of Summer, but if our opponent plays any black spell, I'm going to fire this off to draw a card. I guess I'll buy you. Here comes Caracas. White Orchid Phantom. Sure. They're gonna do that. We'll fetch in response, grab Undercity Sewers, Surveil. Dark Ritual goes to the graveyard. Opponent has a 2/2. And yeah, these Veils are looking mighty stupid. Ugh. Maybe I'm supposed to mold that hand. I wasn't intending to use that Force of Will, but Deafening Silence is just like, I mean, the way that the game is playing out, I think we're actually fine with the Deafening Silence being in play, but it can be bad for us. Just don't like having to think about playing around that spell. I really hope they Thoughtseize us. Please Thoughtseize us. There's the scrub land. Here comes a Recruiter of the Guard. Yeah, this one's slowly slipping away. Here I wish we had the Underground Mortuary. I cut it for the Bayou, though. Wonderpreux is shaking their head. Okay. Recruiter of the Guard. They could get Bowmasters. They do get Bowmasters. Okay. Well, we got the Veil for that. But yeah, we really need to find like a Doomsday here. There's a Ponder. Ponder's great. Let's fire off the Ponder while the Bowmasters is tapped down. See if we can't find something juicy off that, like a Doomsday. There's a Boseiju who endures and a personal tutor. I mean, yeah, we're gonna take the personal tutor here. Underground Sea, cast personal tutor, put Doomsday on top of our deck, but we're kind of in a bad spot here because we don't have a way to draw into our pile. Guess we'll see where we end up. The Bowmasters likely won't matter because we have this Veil of Summer. So we're going to be at 12 here off the Bowmasters. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Yeah, that was a brain fart. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. Yeah, we are screwed. I'm so sorry. I threw that game. That was yep, that's just so bad. Well, this is what it's like playing Doomsday with me. Just making all kinds of errors, and now, I mean, I think we're just dead, right? This is really not good. Wow, I'm stupid. So if we did just draw Doomsday there, we would go to 5, and then we're still just directly dead to their attack. So I think we're pretty toast either way here. Um, yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was just absolutely dumb. Having access to these Veil of Summers, I think, is still good. I don't know that I want to change anything else. We'll submit the deck again. Yikes. Also, sorry if you can hear my cat whining in the background. I will feed her after this game. She is hankering for some kibbles right now. Okay, let's tighten up. I think we're dead anyways, even if we build a Doomsday past the turn pile there, but still, we really screwed the pooch on that one. This hand is pretty sweet. This is a turn 2 win. Deafening silence becomes problematic for us. We are going to keep this. We're going to go probably fetch land, Lion's Eye Diamond, go. Just to hedge at least a little bit against deafening silence. Our opponent's on a mull to 5. Man, if this was just a dark ritual, this hand would be so gassy. But we're gonna have to make do with like a consider. Our opponent's on a mull to 4, so they really are just looking for deafening silence. Maybe Thoughtseize. I mean, Thoughtseize would get us pretty good here. They're on a mull to 4. Okay. Let's play Misty Rainforest, Lion's Eye Diamond, and pass the turn. Opponent's got Wasteland into Aether Vial. Now, what if our opponent has Mind Break Trap? What if our opponent has Mind Break Trap? I can see them having Mind Break Trap. They mulled very aggressively. Cast Consider. Ponder into the graveyard. Draw Force of Will. Untap, upkeep, draw land. Oh, man. So, one option here, if we are worried about Mind Break Trap, like, we can go Cabal Ritual, Doomsday, Cycle Edge, Cracking, Basic Swamp, hold priority for triple blue, cycle down to an Oracle, and then have the last two cards of our deck being Oracle plus Underground Sea to fetch off of. No, because we're going to lose the Misty Rainforest. Do they have Mind Break Trap? Is there a way around it? They could also have Solitude, but I don't know. This is risky. This is kind of unfortunate. I think I am supposed to go for it here. Fire off the Cabal Ritual. Cast Doomsday. And then Thassa's Oracle, Thassa's Oracle. Like Underground Sea. We go to 9, 7, 5. 9, 7, 5. They have no threat. If that fails, they go Stoneforge, then we're dead, but we can't edge anyways. I think I'm fine playing into Mind Break Trap here. Do this. We're gonna have to pass the turn twice, though. Hold control. Sacrifice this. Crack for triple blue. Cycle. Cycle. Oracle. And we got it. Nice. Okay. Apologies for making that grave error in in game number 2. The shuffling away the Doomsday was pathetic, but we got there in the end, and we are 2-0. And I'm going to go feed my cat, and I will return in a moment. All right, welcome to round 3 against Vegetax. We're on the play. And we have a turn one win here. Are we going to play the odds? I mean, I think I'm in the business of just jamming. And we'll see what happens. We're going to go Underground Sea, Lotus Petal. We've got this for another Lotus Petal to cast our Brainstorm, and we still have a Tuck card. Let's always be casting Doomsday. And if this resolves, which it does, we are going to cycle into Lotus Petal, play Lotus Petal, cast Brainstorm, draw LED, Edge of Autumn, and consider. And then our last card will be Thassa's Oracle. Just make sure we don't do what I did at Eternal Weekend and just forget to put Brainstorm in the pile. We've got the pedal to play the Brainstorm. I think this should do it, as long as our opponent is being honest with us, that they don't have any interaction. So let's go Thassa's Oracle on the bottom, followed by these three cards with Lotus Petal on top. Cycle Street Wraith into Lotus Petal, cast Lotus Petal. We'll play Brainstorm, put back Undercity Sewers with Consider on top, deploy our Lion's Eye Diamond, be extra sure to hold the control key, sacrifice this land, crack the LED for triple blue, draw into Consider, put Consider on the stack. Is this where they force us? Jesus Christ. Undercity Sewers to the graveyard, draw Thassa's Oracle, put Oracle on the stack. Do you have a Force of Will? All right. Well, we do not know what our opponent is playing, so our options are just like not to sideboard or to guess. We could hedge by like cutting one veil for like a Thoughtseize. Maybe they're not playing blue. We'd rather have access to a spell that does something. Um, Again, if they're on like an Ancient Tomb deck, we do want access to these Force of Negations, but they might not be on an Ancient Tomb deck. And when I'm looking at our list, like, I mean, Doomsday is just so good. I feel like we're able to beat most decks given what we have. If they're on like Stifle Knot or something, that would be bad. But yeah, I'm kind of fine with just swapping a Veil for a Thoughtseize and calling it a day. We'll see. We'll see. Veg attacks. What are you playing, buddy? I mean, yeah, this hand's got two lands, Personal Tutor to find Doomsday, Force of Will, Pitch Brainstorm plus Brainstorm, and a Cycler to crack into the pile when we're ready for it. We've even got an answer to Chalice of the Void, so I'm fine keeping this. And then depending on what we draw for turn, we'll determine what we want to do. Bloodstained Mire for Underground Sea. Tameo Inquisitive Student, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of things we can do with our sideboard now, just after seeing those two cards. Do we want to personal tutor a Doomsday to the top of our deck? Probably not yet. So let's just play Polluted Delta and pass. Our opponent will get a Tameo attack in. We can surveil in their end step if they don't play a Wasteland. Then we can try to finagle our way to victory, though we're not that well equipped to beat Consigned to Memory. So we're going to have to pick our spot pretty carefully here. Let's see if they're on like Grixis or just straight blue-black. They've got a Brainstorm. We'll let that go. Gonna flip their Tameo. See, the turn 2 flip Tameo can be problematic for us because it means that they can rebuy interaction. But I still don't think I want to counter that Brainstorm. We're going to need this Force of Will to protect our own Doomsday. I am going to Undercity Sewers in the end step here unless our opponent deploys a Wasteland. Let's hope they don't do that. Tameo will tick up. They don't have Wasteland, so we're going to Sewer. And we're looking for some help here. Personal Tutor can go to the graveyard. And we draw Thoughtseize. That's very good. We might want to hold that Thoughtseize. Maybe we can draw out a Daze with this Brainstorm. See what happens here. Brainstorm just resolves. Another Cycler. Put back Island Personal Tutor, or we could put back. I like having uh, double Cycler. I think this is fine. We're gonna lean into the underground seas here. Let's see if they want to daze this. They don't want to daze that. We'll put Doomsday on top of our deck. We'll see what they end up doing here. They're going to probably go for their own Undercity Sewers, I would imagine. Yep, they're surveilling. Got a Tameo. I'm not hating our spot, but I also don't completely like it either. Let's hope they don't play a Murktide. Wasteland was very bad for us here. Do I Cycle Edge? Probably. Let's do that. Get some value off that Wasteland. Put Doomsday into our hand for them to Thoughtseize. Oh, yikes. Yeah, if they find a Thoughtseize here, we're not looking good. They do not shuffle off their Ponder. Here's going to come the Thoughtseize. Tameo rebuy Brainstorm. Pass the turn. We draw Delta. I don't mind casting Brainstorm here. They don't have Orcish Bowmasters available, so let's do that. There's a Dark Ritual, which means we can Thoughtseize our opponent. We could Thoughtseize. We've already played a land for turn. Oracle back with Doomsday on top. Pass. Just need to fade one more Wasteland ideally here. Getting Wastelanded again would really suck, but what I'm envisioning for next turn is like a Thoughtseize into a Dark Ritual Doomsday, cycle for Brainstorm. Ideally, we can strip Consign from their hand here if they have multiple Consigns. That's super bad. We're not going to shuffle away our deck. We're going to play this. We're going to jam Underground Sea. We're going to probe our opponent's hand to see what they've got cooking over there. They're fetching in response. Okay. Ooh, this is fine margins, folks. Fine margins here. They could play their Brainstorm to protect something. They want to do something. What's it going to be? I would love to win this game having hardly sideboarded. That would be sweet. Um, but at least we know we've got like Xantid Swarms and other cards to bring into the mix here. They're going to brainstorm. I don't think I want to spend my Force of Will on this brainstorm. So let's let them mix around the cards that they want. They have this clue which could draw them into a force. And I guess if we have to expend all of these resources, we don't actually have a route to Oracle because we don't have a card to tuck to the brainstorm. So we really gotta hope they just have nothing, but it's very unlikely that they have nothing because they haven't been doing anything. Very tough brainstorm for our opponent. Let's see how she goes. Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot of things to fight through. I could take Orcish Bowmasters. The problem is, right, like if I take Consign to Memory here, and then we have to pass the turn, they're actually just gonna, like, they can just rebuy Consign off Tameo, which is really bad for us. Is there any way we can push this Doomsday through? If I take Force of Negation, then they have double days. I go Dark Ritual Doomsday. They daze Doomsday. I pay. They daze again. I force their daze. And then they have an Orcish Bowmasters. I kind of feel like I'm just supposed to take the Bowmasters here. Oh, this is so hard. Bowmasters is a threat that's going to come down and start pressuring our life total. Gosh darn. I'm going to take Bowmasters, and then we need to decide whether we want to put this Doomsday on the stack here or not. I Doomsday, and we'll all just have nothing. Ugh. Wavering, wavering. If I pass, do things get better for us? I think I'm going to play Ponder and pass. Fetch for an Underground Sea, Ponder again. Interesting. Backup. Dark Ritual Doomsday. Oh man, that was a really tough sequence of turns. Wow. Opponent plays Scalding Tarn, draws an unknown card which they kept on top, and they plus their Tameo and pass. So now we get to fire off Dark Ritual into Doomsday. We can play around their double days with the lands that we have at our disposal. If they force pitch Fawn, I might even just let it go because I've got another Dark Ritual on top of my deck. Force Pitch Days. Am I supposed to force back right now? Got another Doomsday. They're just going to return the Fawn with their Tameo. Maybe this is just fine. Sure. Just trying to work through their hand here. I guess I could have just Street Wraith into Dark Ritual and cast the second Doomsday right then and there. They're going to activate their clue, finally. Oh man, I don't know if I'm playing this game right or not. This is very, very challenging trying to beat these blue-black decks. Yeah, they're going to return their Fawn, and they have 6 cards in their hand, and now they've got a threat. Uh-oh. Yikes. I might have thrown this game. Let's put another Dark Ritual Doomsday on the stack. Fawn Pitch Days. Now we force pitch Oracle. And the issue is that this Nether Goyf is gonna kill us. Because we don't have Duress. And they've got another force anyways. Okay. And that'll be this one, I think. Yeah. Maybe I was playing too cautiously there. But that's tough. We tried to grind through their resources. Now we're falling to 10. Tamio is going to tick back up. Next turn they can return another Force of Will. There's the Veil we've been looking for. And we'll scoop this one up. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Okay. We want Flusterstorm, Thoughtseize, Veil, and Xantid Swarms back in the deck. We can cut Personal Tutor. We can cut an Oracle, I think. Trim a couple of those. And maybe we can just trim down to 1 force. Is that terrible? We just have so many veils. 2 force seems nice. Can we cut instead of that? It's just Street Wraith? Nah. No, it's not Street Wraith. It's Ponder. We'll cut a Ponder. Sort by mana value. Well, is 1 Oracle too greedy? They are playing a Thoughtseize deck, so if it's ever in our hand, you know what? Yeah, we'll go down to 1 force. Might not be correct. There's a Xantid Swarm. Let's keep. I think we're going to just cast this Xantid Swarm here. Probably off Bayou. Play Xantid Swarm. We'll pass the turn. See if they left in Fatal Pushes. They did leave in fatal pushes. Okay, Swarm is just dead. That sucks. Man, that would have been so sweet. So sweet. Can we afford to jam here? They definitely have Force of Will, right? What if I cycle one Street Wraith? Hmm. They definitely have Force of Will. We would love to find. Let's pass. Oh, but they could have thought. Well, we have Brainstorm to protect our Doomsday from a Thoughtseize. I just. Man, if they didn't have push there. Yeah, this is turning out to be terrible for us. We go for an end of turn Brainstorm. Draw for turn. Everything just coming down the pipe a turn too late for us, unfortunately. Hmm. Veil of Summer is excellent. Problem is, though, we've like lost our window on Consign. Oh my goodness. Opponents on the multiple wasteland plan here. Well, let's go for Dark Ritual Doomsday. They probably have the days too. Yep. Man, that is unfortunate. Triple wasteland, huh? Okay. Cycle a Wraith. Let's play a Ponder. There's another Doomsday. Pretty far from that doing anything for us, but we will try. Wow, opponent just had like the perfect sequence. Like this fatal push was so good for them. They didn't see any creatures out of us in the last game. And they left in the pushes for Barrogoyf, I guess. Just punished us. What a perfect like way for our opponent's hand to line up. I'm gonna fire off this brainstorm right now. See what happens. And it's not looking good, team. Now they're going full Garo here. Wow, this hand, like, if they didn't have Fatal Push and we connect with Xantid Swarm, we just had the clean turn 2 win there with Xantid Swarm. The cards did not fall that way. It's possible I botched the last game. Well, let's cast Brainstorm. And I think that does it. GG's, opponent. We tried. We tried. We are now 2-1 in this league. All right, welcome to round number 4. We've got a decent hand here with Edge of Autumn, Doomsday, 2 lands, Thassa's Oracle, Brainstorm, Force. Oracle can be our pitch card because we are playing 2. I'll keep. We don't know what our opponent's playing, so it's unclear whether we need to worry about Wasteland. Playing the Trop feels bad because we have Doomsday in our hand with no ritual. I think we play the Trop though, because if we draw Dark Ritual, we can present a Dark Ritual Doomsday next turn. Opponent plays Forest into Birds of Paradise. Interesting. We could go for an end of turn Brainstorm here. Don't think I want to do that. We draw Fetch Land. Now I think I'm fine casting the Brainstorm. Find a boatload of other Brainstorms. Well, we can put this Thassa's Oracle back and one of the Brainstorms, and then we can play this. We can fetch for Underground Sea. We can cast Ponder. There's a Petal plus a Veil plus a Diamond. I don't mind that. I don't think. Let's pass here. We need to be worried about endurance, so I'm not inclined to want to go for an LED pile. But I don't know that Veil's going to do anything. This looks to be some kind of Nadu strategy. Are they going to play the big bird? They do play out the Nadu Winged Wisdom. Sure. We'll let the Nadu resolve. They've got 5 cards in hand. It's unclear whether they're playing like a Force of Will version of the deck or not. Let's see here. Play out Lotus Petal. I guess we cast Doomsday. Doomsday resolves immediately. Do they have endurance is the thing, and can we beat endurance? Given the cards that we have. The problem is if they just have a Nadu, some way to activate the Nadu, they're going to be like very likely to go for it. We could try to beat endurance by building a double Oracle pile, or we can present like a second Oracle on our opponent's next turn. I kind of just want to swing for the fences here. What if we brainstorm? Not having days in the deck really sucks here. Well, our opponent's giving us the Z's, so let's just build the double Oracle, double Street Wraith. Sure, I don't know. I don't know. Like that, like that. Play out this. Sorry, guys. This is not a good way to beat an endurance, though. See if they have it. Yep. And now we're dead. No need to lose this game. 10 cards back in the library. Scoop them up. That was stupid. Well, maybe we want Xantid Swarms against this opponent. Probably be on consigns. I don't know if they're playing the version with Force of Will or not. Cut some things. Bringing in Volk, so we can probably cut a land. Sorry guys, my brain just shut off there. And there had to have been a way to not just lose there. I'm sure. It was just way too aggressive and all in. Can trim Bayou for Volk. And personal tutor can go. And another ponder. We'll keep this one. I don't have access to a black source or a Doomsday. Another deafening silencer, huh? Yeah, there's the Allosaurus Shepherd. That one's really good. As soon as they start to do natty things, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Springheart. Thing is, not even Doomsday is good enough here. Undercity Sewers, Bin Misty, Truck a Ball. Well, we are lined up for an Experimental Frenzy. But, man, I was feeling really good at the start of this league, and now I'm just losing the thread. But this is what learning looks like. You can watch me make mistakes, so you don't have to. What else have they got? If they have Nadu plus Nadu plus Nomads, I'm content to pack it in. Cord for 1. Is there any way we can beat this? We have no way to crack into our Doomsday pile. All right, we are 2-2. We should not have lost that first game. There had to have been a way to put Oracle into our hand based off what we had. In any case, this is the last round. We've got Force of Will, Brainstorm, Personal Tutor, Ponder. This hand seems fine. We'll keep. I don't think we want to just go all willy-nilly putting a Doomsday on top of our deck on turn 1 here. So I think I'm just going to get Underground Sea and cast Ponder. I could also get Island, I suppose. We do have a lot of cantrips in this hand, and if we got Wastelanded, that would suck, but it would put us on needing to find Dark Ritual plus Doomsday. I'm fine to go for the Island here. Ooh. Kind of don't mind picking up an extra land and a Cycler. Doesn't get us close to the Doomsday that we're looking for, but it'll... Or the Dark Ritual, rather. Opponent just plays a Nethergoyf. Sure. Nethergoyf off basic Swamp. We got a Thassa's Oracle on top of our deck. So now I think we want to fire off a Brainstorm. We're going to draw the Oracle and 2 fresh cards. Gotta hope those 2 fresh cards are good ones. They are not. Let's go like that. Not even convinced that we want the Doomsday yet. I'm gonna pass again. Opponent's got a lot of cards in hand. Are they playing mono black? That was a mistake, obviously. I'm so sorry. I'm losing the thread here, guys. I've just got a 0/1 Nethergoyf. I will get the Undercity Sewers this time and shuffle the Brainstorm. That was pathetic. There's a Valley of Gorgoroth just to come and punish us. Let's fetch in response. They're going to Dark Ritual Opposition Agent us. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think we want to get rid of that. Pick up an Undercity Sewers. Our opponent's Goyf is online here. We'll leave the Underground Sea on top of our deck. And then we'll cycle this into a new sea. Wasteland will fizzle, we'll take 3. And again, we're just like in a position where getting Doomsday into our hand is not necessarily good. We're not really doing anything else. I'll fire the personal tutor now. At least get the Doomsday. We still have a force. Taking a bunch of chunks. Here come the Wastelands. We draw Doomsday. We're just getting withered to pieces by this Nethergoyf. I think that will do it. Wizard Wand gets us. Mono black aggro, you say? Interesting. This shouldn't be a hard matchup for us, barring opposition agent. We want a collective brutality, probably to kill one of those. And then maybe a Thoughtseize. Probably don't need Cavern of Souls. Do we even need Thoughtseize? I don't know. I kind of love 4 Veil of Summer. We're just going to bring in the collective brutality and hope that's enough. Maybe I should bring in Experimental Frenzy since it's the last match and we never got to do anything with it, but I don't know. I mean, this hand's pretty sweet. I'd love to have a Veil of Summer. I'm going to keep it. Opponent is a Wasteland heavy player. We've got to consider here. We could also just turn 1 personal tutor for Edge of Autumn, but that doesn't seem advisable. Collective Brutality beats Opposition Agent. Am I just supposed to fetch for basic island on turn 1 and pass to play around Oppo? Ooh, yeah, beating Opposition Agent's gonna be interesting with this hand. I guess we'll see what our opponent does. They're on a mull to 6. I mean, if I get Underground Sea here, I play around Wasteland. If I get Island... Actually, if I get Island, I play around Wasteland. I think I'm fine getting Island here. Just go for that immediate fetch. Basic Island pass, considering your end step. Hope to find a land. No Wasteland shenanigans. Thoughtseize, terrible for us. I smell an opposition agent, and I do not like it. We'll keep that. Force of Will? Dark Ritual. Polluted Delta, do we go for it? totally have opposition agent, but am I ever playing around that agent? We can force them to play it here. Show me the agent. Interesting. I could check their hand. Or I could just play Dark Ritual Doomsday. Do you have the agent now? They don't have the agent, and so Edge cycle into Brainstorm. Brainstorm draw LED. Street Wraith. Let's play around. Bowmasters. See what they've got. Cast Lion's Eye Diamond. Hold control. Cycle Edge. Crack this for triple blue. Draw Consider. Play Consider. Play Oracle? Question mark? Alright. Got there that time. Man, opposition agent is annoying. Don't really have much in the way of stopping it though. Yeah, we'll keep this. On to the final game of this league. We'll see what happens. What do we got? We got some Doomsdays, a Veil of Summer, Thassa's Oracle. I'm going to keep this hand. My kidney for a Dark Ritual, I guess. Uh, Against Opposition Agent, we can assemble a win by casting Doomsday, then hard casting Oracle. If they just go for a turn 1 Oppo, though, that is very tough for us to beat. Here's a Thoughtseize. It probably takes our Veil. Maybe it takes our Ponder. If they have Surgical Extraction, they could just take our Oracle and kill us here. It's also would be a fine play. I mean, they could take Doomsday and kill us too. Take Ponder, so no Surgical. That's good. Taking Ponder's bad, leaving us with a Veil. So they're basically saying Veil doesn't matter. We draw another Ponder. I could go Pondering here. I kind of like just passing with Veil up though, to be totally honest. I guess Pondering though is like the way to beat an opposition agent. And now we're Dothy Voidwalker. Do we want an extra card off of this Veil now? I kind of don't mind cashing in the Veil here for a card. Just taking Bayou. Trade Veil for a basic island. You've got a Dothy Voidwalker. Untap, draw Edge. Play Underground Sea. Cast Ponder. Find Dark Ritual plus Street Wraith. We've already got the Oracle in hand. Dark Ritual Doomsday. Use Ponder's ability, no. Draw Dark Ritual. What happens if we play Doomsday now? We could Edge of Autumn into a Force of Will, sacking our Bayou. I don't mind that. Let's go Dark Ritual Doomsday. Oh, what are we all putting into the void? A Dark Ritual and a Ponder. We have to be a bit careful about that too. Ooh, okay. Probably want to play around another Thoughtseize. We're going to 9. Dothy puts us to 6. Brainstorm, Force of Will, Edge of Autumn, Lion's Eye, Diamond. If we force, they're going to have access to force on our Oracle. But then they're not attacking with their Dothy. I don't think I mind this pile. This Dothy, if they leave the Dothy untapped, that's going to be bad for us. It's Dark Ritual into Opposition Agent. We're not tutoring our library anymore. So I think Oppo's fine. And another Goyf. And they are attacking with the Voidwalker. I guess if they have Snuff Out as their last card, that's really bad for us. Is there a way to beat the Snuff Out? I don't think there is a way to beat the Snuff Out, unfortunately. Do you have Snuff Out, opponent? They do not have Snuff Out. Okay. Okay, so we went 3-2 with the deck. I think that we might have been able to do better. I really screwed up a couple of times in the middle there. Still kind of getting used to talking while I'm playing, I guess. Let's actually quickly go look at this game. against Nadu. So I kind of want to quickly see what we could have done differently. Okay. First question is like, can we afford to pass the turn here? They Court of Calling into Nadu. They find a bunch of other things. Our opponent hasn't done any selection. Endurance is the known skipper. Doomsday costs black, black, black. So these three things here are accounted for. Yeah, this is a really, really tough spot. So we don't have black mana to Thoughtseize our opponent. We're not playing Spoils of the Vault. We could pass the turn, and then we have Force, we have Edge, and then we untap, upkeep, draw, Thoughtseize them. But if they've just like Nadu'd us, they could end up with multiple endurances. We go to 9, we take in a hit, and it's possible that we just like lose to some kind of endurance loop. We do have the Force to stop the Court of Calling. So maybe the correct play here is to make a pass the turn pile where the top card is Thoughtseize. So we pass to their turn. They play a chord for Nomads. We force it, pitching Brainstorm. And then we untap on our turn, tap Underground Sea for black, point the Thoughtseize at our opponent, which will prompt an Endurance, shuffling the Force of Will and the Doomsday back to the bottom. We take their Endurance, and then we can cycle down to Oracle and win. Yeah, that's probably the play. I was hell-bent on trying to win this turn, and opponent did have the Endurance. I mean, this is game 1. They didn't know that we're on Doomsday. They didn't manipulate their library in any way. They just played out some elves. But yeah, I mean, you can't quite win them all. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any thoughts about how to navigate this. My inclination now is to say we pass the turn. I was pretty worried, right? Like, if they can sneak through this Nomads, it becomes very hard to have 5 cards beat their, like, I don't know, 10 cards that they're going to draw off of it. So yeah, in any case, that was the blunder there. And then against Veg Attacks, I remember that game 2 being very, very interesting. So if we take Consign, we go Dark Ritual Doomsday. Our opponent goes Force of Negation, Pitch Daze. We force back on the negation. Then if we cycle into Brainstorm to try to go for the immediate kill, we no longer even have access to that as a possibility. Then our opponent's going to rebuy Consign, and we're in a position where we have to get probably both Veil of Summer to beat Orcish Bowmasters plus Thoughtseize to take the Consign that they return back to their hand. Yeah, this is really, really, really tough. There's a lot of choices that we could make here. We take the Bowmasters, leave them with all of this blue interaction that we then need to fight through. We can blank the Dazes. I think I liked taking Bowmasters here. Let me know if you would take something different in the comments. But because they're just going to deploy that as a threat, then start chipping away at our life total, and we can't even cast this Ponder. I think it's good to do what we did here, take the ponder, fetch, cast the ponder since they don't have the bowmasters. Oh wow, yeah, and then there's like just another Dark Ritual Doomsday coming down the pipe. That fetch like almost just revealed all the same cards. We take Thassa's Oracle, we pass, our opponent pluses their Tamiyo. We go back to my turn. Draw the Doomsday, there's a Dark Ritual underneath it. And now we can play Doomsday around the dazes and our opponent doesn't have a threat. This is where I believe I messed up. So my opponent's going to fawn, pitching a daze, leaving them with consigned daze and unknown card. I'm supposed to force back here, I think. So if I force back here, then I can Street Wraith, cycle into Dark Ritual, and put Doomsday on the stack again, still playing around the days that they have. But then we're untapping and we have to beat the consign to memory, which is difficult here too. So yeah, I'm honestly not quite sure about what the right course of action was supposed to be here. The way that it shook out was unfortunate. And then in game three, opponent just their hand just lined up perfectly against our hand, and they had three wastelands to really keep us off kilter. But yeah, this was. I mean, there's so many decision trees in this game, and this just really shows why Doomsday is so complicated and why I am just completely overwhelmed as to what the right thing to do in this spot is. Uh, but yeah, so I just pass here. Like, I think if we force, we have to cycle into Doomsday or Dark Ritual cast Doomsday again. Oh, so challenging. But this way we play around days. They take the fawn back to their hand. Now they have a threat. And the threat is what makes this particularly bad for us. Because now we Dark Ritual, opponent casts Force. We're going to be at 3 after Doomsday and another Goyf hit, which means we do get to cycle our Street Wraith, but yeah, we've got the Force, and then I think by now they just have another Force, right? This Doomsday just does not resolve. Yep, and they've got the game there. Crazy. Let me know what you would have done differently. In any case, we'll go back to the list here. I actually really liked the main deck. The main deck felt like very, very good. We had a lot of really, really quick wins in this league. Unfortunately, we did not get a chance to use the Experimental Frenzy. Maybe next time. Manamorphose, this card seems sweet at beating uh, Blood Moon. So that's still cool. This Xantid Swarm theoretically would have been awesome if my opponent didn't have exactly Fatal Push when they did. So we kind of got by the by the post board push on the Xantid Swarm, but these things happen. You keep a hand and you get punished sometimes by the hand that your opponent kept. So yeah. In any case, thanks so much for watching another league here with Doomsday. We didn't do as well as the last Esper League where we got the trophy, but I'm just going to be posting the videos, even if I get completely dumpstered or make a bunch of mistakes like I did in this one. Um, you'll at least get to hopefully learn from my mistakes and learn what not to do. But I think that yeah, the highlight of this one was that game two against Blue Black. That was very, very challenging Magic, and yeah, I hit the wall there. I did not know how to properly navigate that game. So in any case, we're learning Doomsday. It's a fun deck. It's very, very powerful, as you saw. And yeah, until next time, cheers.